Good evening and welcome into Southern Ohio Sports Authority's presentation of Ohio High School Girls Volleyball. Tonight, we're set up here at Zane Trace High School. The Pioneers are set to host the visiting Adena Warriors. Hi, everybody. I'm DC Daly. Alongside me tonight, Derek Webb. And, Derek, you look at this game, the only last undefeated teams in regard to league play in the SVC. I think we're in for a good one tonight.
Absolutely. I talked to another SVC volleyball coach earlier in the week, and they had told me they look at the league as Adena, Zane Trace, 1A, 1B. Uniota's real close up there to those top two. A little bit of a drop, and then everybody kind of in a bundle. But the cool thing about the SVC this year and every year is that those teams at the bottom of that bundle can beat 1A or 1B on any given night. So, but I truly do believe that this is kind of the cream of the crop, not just in the SVC, but in Southern Ohio. Yeah. So I did get a chance to see Adena and Uniota on Tuesday, that 5-set match there. Obviously, the Hall of Fame coach Laura Smith on one side, it gives you a little bit of an advantage. When they were in trouble on Tuesday, they went to seniors Hannah Burns and Sydney Fogelsong. I think if they get into murky waters tonight, that's the same thing. They're going to those two seniors to kind of guide them out of that territory. On the other side of the net, you got Lexi Scott, Gracie McCullough, Alexis Farley, Delaney Berry, Kendra DeTigan. I mean, you have these guys with a lot of experience. I would say more experience on Zane Trace's side of the net than Adena. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, you talk about that game against Uniota. Adena coming in tonight, undefeated overall, 7-0, 3-0 in the SVC. Like you said, a 5-set, 3-2 win over Uniota. That was on Tuesday. Laura Smith referring to Sydney Fogelsong, Burns, and McQuinnif as really the steady ones on the court and really keeping the team all together as a team. You look over at Zane Trace, 7-1, also undefeated in the SVC at 3-0. That one loss coming to Fisher Catholic, that went 5 sets. And since that loss, have not lost a set. 3-0 against Southeastern, 3-0 against Huntington, 3-0 against Paint Valley. Paint Valley being their last game. That was on Tuesday.
And that's 9 straight sets against 3 good teams.
Yeah.
And by the way, that 5-set loss to Fisher Catholic, the 5th set was 26-24, and as we know, it goes to 15.
Right.
They won 26-24, and that was a marathon. And that was a match where Zane Trace had a 2-0 match lead. Maybe you could point at lessons learned that night. Sometimes, no loss is a good loss, but sometimes a loss is the best team or the best thing to wake a team up. And I don't think you want to wake this sleeping giant on this side of the net.
So we are just moments away from first serve here at Zane Trace High School. The Pioneers coached by Cindy Davis. The Adena Warriors coached by Laura Smith. As you mentioned, for sure a Hall of Fame coach for Adena, and definitely a good coach on the side of Zane Trace as well. So it's definitely a marquee matchup here in terms of the SVC.
Matchup of X's and O's, matchup of great hitters, two great setters as well.
And that is Fogelsong tipping it over for Adena, and they are going to get the first point of the match. That was Hannah Burns, actually, who tipped it over for Adena, who will take the first point of the match.
We talked about earlier, just talked about Hannah Burns there. You got to remember Burns, Fogelsong, Brooke Bossert in the back row, who I believe is serving now, and Brenda McQuinnif, number 2 for Adena. Those guys are fresh off a state championship run. A state semifinal run.
Yeah.
Those are big game experience. You get a lot of leadership. You learn a lot about the game in games like those. And they're certainly bringing that in games like tonight's.
Bossert to serve for the Warriors, gets it over the net, received by Detillion. However, a reception error for Detillion results in another point for the Warriors. An early set, 2-0 lead.
Just looking at that ball coming out of the service line, I thought that ball might have fell out if they'd let it go.
Scott going to keep it alive for the Pioneers. McCullough able to keep it alive, gets it back over the net. Coming down the middle, it's Fogelsong gets it over. And a nice recovery by the Pioneers. They're able to keep it alive. Fogelsong coming back down the middle, gets the kill. And 3 straight points here early on in the first set for the Warriors.
Right now, and all night, it's going to be imperative to side out for Zane Trace. If they can get Bossert out and get Fogelsong to slide out of the front row, they're going to be able to attack the net a lot more. But right now, they got to receive the serve.
Scott received the serve. May sets it up for Scott. Back on the side of Adena, hit back over to Zane Trace, and the kill, I believe, goes to freshman Kaylee Johnson.
And I think that was actually Hannah Burns again.
Hannah Burns again.
2 early kills for her.
Yeah.
Fogelsong with 1 and an ace for Breno, or I'm sorry, for Bossert, or for Brooke Bossert.
So I believe Zane Trace going to call their first timeout of the set. Here an early 4-0 lead here for Adena.
If you're Cindy Davis, you have to, let's calm down.
Yeah.
A lot of butterflies, a lot of nerves. They know it's a big game. Let's just calm down, play our game, get back out there and do what we do.
I can't remember the exact quote, but I know Laura Smith did say how in that Uniota game it was kind of a pretty streaky game. One team would go on a run, the other team would go on a run, and it was just kind of, whoever went on the longest run, I reckon, is who ended up coming away with it. This time, Batillion gets it back over for Zane Trace. Little miscommunication for the Warriors. Fogelsong able to get it back over down the middle. Farley tips it over for Zane Trace. Fogelsong with the left hand, able to find a hole in the Pioneer defense, and a 5-0 lead for Adena.
Fogelsong is so good at the net. She adjusts to that set from Townsend, but so good at the net, finding holes, dipping, dunking, and then of course she can provide those thunderous kills.
And a reception error for Lexi Scott, an ace for Brooke Bossert. And a 6-0 lead now for Adena.
How about Brooke Bossert? 6-0.
Yeah, 6-0
a quick
run
little
here.
6-0 service run to start the night. Her sister Kelsey was also a great volleyball player at Adena. Also played under Coach Laura Smith. It runs in that family.
And the first kill for Zane Trace going to go to junior Kendra Detillion. Pioneers finally able to get on the board, and that'll end Bossert's run at the service line.
And that's a huge point. You get the monkey off your back. And like I said, when Fogelsong starts to slide out here, it changes the game, and it changes what Adena does offensively.
Fogelsong on the left side, hits it over. Nice reception there for Zane Trace. Detillion back over, met at the net. And I believe it'll fall on Zane. No, it'll fall on. Actually, I'm not sure. I think, the point will go to Zane Trace. I really couldn't tell which side of the net it ended up falling down on.
Well,
but
it looked like the referee on the floor motioned towards Adena.
May to serve. You talk about Kinley May. I actually have it written down. I know we made a post about it on Twitter and I believe Facebook as well, how she set a new OHSAA record, 34 for 34 from the service line. That's pretty incredible when you set a new state record in any sport.
And she's also got over 1,500 career assists. So always been a great from the service line, but one of the SVC's best ever as a setter as well.
Fogelsong down the middle, goes for the kill, received by McCullough. Pretty long volley here for Zane Trace and Adena. And will eventually be ended by, I believe, number 4, Delaney Berry.
Coach Cindy Davis actually called she called that ball in from the sideline, said, yeah, guys, that was in.
Kaylee Johnson back to serve for the Warriors.
This is Burns.
Okay, well, the Max Prep roster. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong roster. That would be why.
I was wondering, what game we were watching. Yeah.
So Hannah Burns back to serve for the Warriors. That one is received by Scott.
It's going to be a
legal
two-touch, yeah. 2 Hall of Fame refs, by the way. Pat Porter up in the nest and his wife Pam down on the floor. She was my high school math teacher, believe that.
There we go.
That's why I'm so good at it, right?
Yeah. Burns back to serve for the Warriors. One received by Scott. Mayo set it up to the right side. Farley going for the kill. Mayo get it back over for Zane Trace. A nice block there by the Pioneers, and they'll get a point out of it. And is now with a 9-3 lead.
That's a great adjustment to net from Farley, and looked like Delaney Berry there. Anytime, and if you play big at the net, Adena's they've got length, they've got height at the net. Anytime you can win a ball in a joust like that one, you're doing something right.
Scott gets it back over. Set up by Townsend. Vogelsong going for the kill.
Coach Smith wanted a legal hit there, too, as well. Probably should have had it, but Vogelsong takes care of any worrisomes about that. She's got 3 early kills as well as burns.
Grace Townsend back to serve for Adena. It's received by May. Set by Barry. That's Scott going for the kill for the Pioneers. Scott going to tip it back down for the Pioneers. 4th point of the set. A 10-4 lead now for Adena here in the first set.
How do you stop that? A lot of people believe that Lexi Scott is your preseason and right now during the season SVC Player of the Year. She certainly played like it this fall.
May going to set it up to the left side. Scott going to get it back over for the Pioneers. On the left side, that's Corcoran. May once again going to try to get it to Scott. This time they will get it to go. And a 10-5 lead now for Adena.
I talked about how those rotations are important. Now Scott's in the front row at Zane Trace. They're going to go her way.
Corcoran going to tip it back over for the Warriors. Scott puts it in the net, able to recover on the right side. That was Barry getting it over for Zane Trace. This time received by McCullough. Scott on the left side goes for the kill, gets stuck in the net. I think that was Laney Scott trying to recover, just not able to get a good touch on it. Hits it out of bounds. And an 11-5 lead now for the Warriors.
Not sure that ball was ever going to go over the net anyways.
Scott on the left side goes for the kill. A nice reception there by the Warriors. This one received by McCullough, set by May. Scott on the left side, able to get the kill for Zane Trace. I really didn't notice it right away, but we've got, I believe, 3 sets of sisters. Maybe only 2 between these 2 teams.
It's a family affair out there.
Got both Scotts, both Bossards. I thought I saw one more, but that may have been all that I saw. But still, 2 sets of sisters in one match. I mean, it's not exactly the most common thing in the world for high school sport.
It's like Uniota's football team. They have 6 sets of brothers.
Yeah. Nice recovery there by Zane Trace, able to keep it alive.
They're going to call that ball out.
Yeah, it was out by a couple feet, I believe.
And Preston, one of the Warriors without a lot of varsity experience, she played really well in the match on Tuesday. A name that's up and coming right now in the SVC. She's going to make an impact this year all year long.
That is Corcoran going for the kill, gets stuck up in the net. Zane Trace battling back here, I believe, at one point.
9-2 at one point.
Yeah, I was going to say, I knew it was 6-0, then it went around 9-1, 9-2, now at 11-8. A nice run here for the Pioneers. Barry to serve. This one received by Bossert. And this is going to be a reception error for Zane Trace, goes out of bounds. I believe that's got to be, 4 or 5 in a row now for Zane Trace?
Well, Eva Kruger there logged that kill, who's at the service line now. Another young Warrior with a lot of talent for Coach Smith. An ace for Kruger as we talk about her.
It's kind of interesting to watch how different everybody's serve routines can be. Some people dribble, some people spin it around on their hands.
It reminds me of Major League at bats.
Yeah, so everybody has their own, a superstition maybe. If you remember back, Johnny Gomes did the old helmet adjustment thing for the Reds. There's been a couple other crazy things that players do, as well as crazy batting stances.
I think my favorite at bat routine was Sean Casey's. He took his gloves off twice.
Too old or too young.
You're
for
too
that.
young for that. Yeah,
I know who it is, but
the mayor.
A 13-9 lead here for Adena. Down the middle, that's Farley getting over for Zane Trace. Here on the left side, that was Corcoran going for the kill for Adena. Scott going to try to get it back over for Zane Trace, however, gets wrapped up in the net. It'll be a 14-9 lead now for the Warriors.
You know, after Tuesday's game, when I was talking to Coach Smith, she mentioned the little things. She mentioned how Adena needs to do the little things correctly. She said they're a good team, but if they can get the little things right, they can be a great team. On Tuesday, they didn't serve well. Tonight, that's turned around so far. And as I say that,
McQuinneth served just a little too long there. Be a 14-10 lead now for the Warriors.
But so far, that's the first mistake we've seen at the service line from Adena.
Lainey Scott set to serve for Zane Trace. And back-to-back long serves here for both teams. Be a 15-10 lead now for Adena.
Something you're not going to see a lot in SVC play, for sure.
Brooke Bossert back to serve for the Warriors. Received by May. Sorry, that was Scott who tried to receive it.
That's Bossert's third ace of the first set. Warriors back now in their original rotation. But as I said, Dewey, with Fogelsong out of that front row, you saw Zane Trace close that gap. They go on a 6-2 run to make it 11-9 at 11-8 at one point. Now, of course, Adena back out in front, 16-10. And when Zane Trace is making that run, they have to sustain it. That's how you beat Adena. Yeah. You got to keep that momentum up. And, you know, we've heard from Zane Trace all year long, and their kids will tell you, when they're playing well and they're on an energy high, they have to keep that momentum going. They're kind of a tale of, you know, when they're good, they're good. When they're bad, they're bad. There's no in between. And as you've seen in the first set so far, they can play well, or they can make mistakes.
It's really, the first set has been a set of runs. I mean, like you said, it started off all Adena. Zane Trace started to fight back, cut it to, I believe, at one point, the closest they got was 2 or 3, I believe.
I think it was 11-8 at one point.
11-8. And obviously now back up to a 6-point lead for the Warriors. Brooke Bossert set to serve. Coming out of the timeout here for Adena. A 16-10 lead here in the first set, received by Scott. May going to set it back to Scott.
From the back row.
This time Burns trying to put it down for Adena. Tipped back over. Burns going to try again. This time able to get it to go. And a 17-10 lead now for Adena. Tell you what, when Brooke Bossert's serving, it seems like Adena just really can't be stopped. I mean, anytime she's been back serving, it seems like that's when they go on their runs.
She started with a 6-0 run. She's now on, a 4-1 run and trying to keep that momentum going.
Fogelsong down the middle, goes for the kill. A nice reception by McCullough. And a Kendra Detillion kill attempt gets stuck up in the net. An 18-10 lead now for Adena. Going to have a quick substitution here for Zane Trace. You know, one thing that's definitely beneficial about here is how high the ceiling is. You know, when we did the game at Unyota a few weeks back, I tell you what, that Fogelsong kill attempt had some juice behind it.
Yeah, and just to be able to get in front of that ball, that's not an easy thing to do.
But going back to the Unyota game we did against Logan Elm a few weeks back, the low ceiling there really comes into play quite frequently, you know, and really like a play right there whenever somebody has a lot of speed coming on a kill attempt and somebody receives it, it'll just fly straight up and get stuck around in the rafters. Obviously here the basketball rims might
I've seen them make baskets in some gyms.
But here, obviously, with the high ceiling, that's not going to be as big of a problem as it might be in other places around the SVC. 19-12 lead now for the Laura Smith-led Warriors.
You know, right now, Dewey, it's pretty simple. If you're Zane Trace, there's just too many mistakes. There's too many hitting errors, serve-receive errors, and against a team like Adena, you can't do it and expect to win.
May going to set it up. Scott going to get over. A deep kill attempt there for Scott. Adena going to be a little long on their kill attempt. Going to put Reagan Hill back to serve for the Pioneers. Received by Corcoran, set up by Townsend. Vogelsong with a nice little touch over the net, able to find a hole in the Pioneer defense.
Vogelsong and Burns now each with 4 kills. And really, when you look at Adena's 20 points, I've got 9 kills and 4 aces so far. So 13 of those 20, I mean, they're earning them.
Vogelsong down the middle, goes for the kill. Another kill for Sydney Vogelsong. I tell you, it's really tough to defend when you have somebody that can hit it as hard as Vogelsong, but she also has the touch with both her right and left hands. Just, tip it over, try to direct it, and try to find a hole in the defense.
She's, in my opinion, the best middle hitter in Southern Ohio.
I would definitely say one of the most versatile. I mean, we saw how hot that. And obviously, she didn't get the point for it, but the one kill attempt a few points ago, how hot that came off her hand. I mean, it.
95-mile-per-hour fastball.
Oh, it definitely had some heat coming off of it. As Vogelsong, another hard kill here for Vogelsong. A 22-14 lead for the Warriors.
As I said earlier, Adena, in times of trouble, or just in times where they want to score, they're going to Vogelsong and Burns. They've fed Vogelsong early here, and you can see why. 6 kills now. 4 for Burns, and I believe other than Eva Kruger, those 3 are the only ones with kills on the team.
This time Laney Scott going to get the kill for Zane Trace. 7-point deficit here now for the Pioneers. Delaney Berry back to serve for Zane Trace. Going to look to make up some ground here. This one received by Bossert. A set up Preston trying to get the kill for the Warriors. Hit back over by McCullough. And nobody home for Adena. That'll cut it to 6.
Well, Dewey, here's what I was talking about. You've got Sydney Vogelsong sitting on the bench. A 6-point deficit. Zane Trace, if they're going to make a run in the first set, this is where.
Barry back to serve. Once again, a bit of miscommunication here for Adena. Corcoran going to get it back over for the Warriors. This time Scott. I'll tell you what, that had looked like a curveball coming with the hands of Lexi Scott, able to get the kill for Zane Trace. That cuts it to 5.
Tally 5 kills for Lexi Scott now. And Barry at the service line is very capable of going a run on her own.
This one just makes it back over for Adena. Scott on the left side. Just gets it over the net, and another point for Zane Trace. It's down to 4.
Laura Smith's going to signal for a timeout. I think I would do the same at this point.
What was it coming out of the last, was it 22-13 or 22-14?
At one point it was 21-14, and yeah, 22-14, so yep.
So a 4-point run here for Zane Trace. Cuts the deficit to 4. And it really has been a back-and-forth set for really the whole duration of the set, really. I mean, obviously we'd have to take a second to look at the exact number in each run, but, I mean, it's really been Adena, Zane Trace, Adena, Zane Trace.
And that's exactly how Adena played against Scioto on Tuesday. And you got to understand, too, Adena's coming off a Lemon Catholic Invitational victory on Saturday, as you mentioned earlier, and that's not an easy tournament to win. So they come into the match on Tuesday after 3 huge wins on Saturday, and then play 5 sets on Tuesday. So you'd think that there's more energy on Zane Trace's side right now. There's some tired legs over there on Adena's bench, but right now they have the lead. They got to just do something, to get Barry off the service line, side out, and finish this one off.
Barry set to serve for Zane Trace coming out of the timeout. A 22-18 lead for Adena. Townsend sets it up. A nice kill attempt there by Preston. Scott going to try to do the same for Zane Trace. This time Corcoran going to give it a go. A nice reception there by Reagan Hill. Scott going to tip it back over. This time Kruger going to try to find a hole in the Zane Trace defense. Scott going to give it a go. And able to find a hole. 5 straight points here for Zane Trace.
So Lexi Scott is going to get that kill, but that doesn't happen without Gracie McCullough and Reagan Hill in the back row. Both made 2 huge digs to keep that volley alive, and then they can get the ball to Scott to make that play.
A near reception error for Adena, however, able to keep it alive. And Delaney Berry just not able to get it over the net. That ends what I believe was a 6-point run, either a 5 or 6 point run for Zane Trace.
And it was a big point for Adena. Now just 2 away.
Kruger serve is received by Hill. Set up by Berry. That was May going for the kill, tipped back over. And Scott just not able to make good contact when she's trying to get it over the net. At 24-19 lead now for Adena, just 1 point away from taking the opening set of this match. Kruger to serve, received by Hill, set up by Barry. May going to get it back over for Zane Trace. Burns on the left side, gets the kill, and Adena will take the opening set of tonight's SVC matchup. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, it'll be the start of the second set. You're watching Ohio High School Volleyball right here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by OhioHealth.
At OhioHealth, you can see your doctor here or here, on this or on these. And no matter if you're over here, over there, or anywhere in between, you'll feel good knowing OhioHealth provides the finest care anywhere. Schedule care today at ohiohealth.com/finestcare.
Buying a car from the wrong dealership can leave a bad taste in your mouth.
Yuck!
But it's our mission at Glockner to make car buying a piece of cake.
Hooray!
Maybe it's our fast, friendly sales process, or that we don't play games with the numbers we show you. You'll get a detailed proposal with full disclosure on your purchase that makes sense. No tricks or hidden fees. Plus, stop by any Glockner location for a 15-minute KBB vehicle appraisal, and we'll give you big cash for your vehicle same day, even if you don't buy one from us. And for this month only, new and pre-owned vehicle buyers get their first oil change for free. That's piece of cake car buying. We make it easy at Glockner.com.
And welcome back in here to Zane Trace High School. We're just a few moments away here from starting off the second set here in tonight's SVC matchup between the visiting Adena Warriors and the hometown Zane Trace Pioneers. Adena, although it was a bit of a rocky first set and went back and forth the whole time, Adena eventually able to pull away towards the end, get the last few points of the set. A one-set lead here for Adena. What do you think has to happen here for Zane Trace if they're going to take control and get a win here in the second set?
Well, for starters, they've got to clean some stuff up in the serve receive. I had Adena for 4 aces in that first set, but when they didn't have an ace, they also caused a bad pass, on that serve receive. If they can clean that up and get the ball to their hitters, they're going to be like this. Gracie McCullough just did. They're going to have a better set.
Fogelsong back in for Adena, making an immediate impact. Gets the first kill of the match for Adena.
And I should have said they need to stop Sydney Fogelsong. Not much you can do there.
Yeah.
When they go on these runs, because inevitably they need to sustain that momentum as well.
Burns a serve about a yard past the back line here. Even things up at 1.
And things like that will help. They'll also make Coach Laura Smith pull her hair out there on the other side. That's what was happening against Unioto on Tuesday, and then Unioto was able to scratch, claw, fight back into the game.
Fogelsong once again down the middle, received by May. However, not able to make anything out of the reception. A 2-1 lead here for Adena. Man, I tell you, it would really be hard to get behind a Sydney Fogelsong kill attempt. I mean, that is coming in fast.
Well, that's why I wouldn't play volleyball. I just wouldn't.
That was.
It's going to be Grace Townsend on the ace, and again, serve receive. We've seen this multiple times, and I'm sure after the game, if whether Zane Trace wins or loses this match, that's exactly what Cindy Davis is going to say.
Fogelsong with the reception. Scott going to put it back over. A nice reception there by Bossert. May going to set it up to the left side to Tillion going forward the kill, and she will get it. A 3-2 lead now for Adena. I tell you, I think Adena has been leading in each set so far for the whole night. I don't believe Zane Trace has held a lead in either set.
They have not. That's Kendra Tillion's second kill on the night there, and a block from Delaney Berry at the net there. That's a big one to tie the score. And as you said, Dewey, if Zane Trace can get a point here, that will be their first lead of the night.
McCullough back to serve for the Pioneers. Received by Bossert. Fogelsong on the left side going for the kill. Scott going to try to do the same for the Pioneers. This time Corcoran on the left side.
It's going to be a free ball.
Yep. May going to set it up. Scott going to try it again. And Bossert not able to dig it up. The first lead of the night for the Pioneers comes in the second set with a 4-3 lead.
I tell you what, Dewey, I think that it's worth noting that last year Gracie McCullough was a hitter. And then they switched her to the libero position this year, and she looks like she's fitting in pretty well.
Tell you what, that serve may have just been out. However, Adena going to keep it alive. Scott sets it up. May to the left side. Scott just tips it over.
It's a great adjustment for Fogelsong there after attempting the block. She gets it back to her passer.
A nice block by Fogelsong. Scott going to go for the kill, able to get it. Here goes Lexi Scott with the kill. A 2-point lead now for Zane Trace here in the second set.
And not going to block that. That is a 4-0 run from Zane Trace now. And like I said, here's the run. If they can sustain the momentum, and they're doing it with Fogelsong at the net as well.
Townsend sets it up. Fogelsong going for the kill. Nobody home. That cuts Zane Trace's lead down to 1.
That was reminiscent of the first hit she had in the middle of the net there.
Yeah.
I've watched a lot of volleyball this year, and I don't think I've seen someone hit the ball as hard as Fogelsong does.
Scott down the middle going for the kill. Dug up by Townsend. Scott trying to get it over for Zane Trace. Fogelsong, sorry, that was Corcoran to Townsend. Goes back to Preston going for the kill. Scott going to get it back over for Zane Trace. Corcoran on the right side gets it over for Adena. May going to set it up to Scott on the left side. Nice dig there by Haley Howard. And I believe that one just catches the corner. I think that was Caroline Corcoran getting the kill for the Warriors. That ties it up at 5.
She gets in on the fun tonight. That's her first kill. And Corcoran transferred from Chillicothe last year. We had her ranked in our top 30 volleyball players that serve sails long. She was a huge pickup for Adena. She great kid, a great softball player as well. And she's going to contribute on the basketball court if she decides to play that sport there as well. So a three-sport athlete, Laura Smith's always going to say, yes, you can play on my volleyball team, especially with an athlete at the caliber as Caroline Corcoran.
And you talk about the top 30 thing. I believe Scott and May were in the top 5 of that, weren't they?
So
top 10 at least.
They were in the top 10, yeah, as Preston gets the kill there. To tie the game at 6. So on the court right now, Burns, Corcoran, and Fogelsong on Adena's side. And then you have May, McCullough, and Scott. And I believe Alexis Farley was there as well. So we've got 7 players of those top 30 right here on the court tonight.
Lexi Scott gets it over for the Pioneers. Townsend sets it up. That's Corcoran going for the kill, gets stuck up in the net. I don't think it actually
I don't know if that ball ever went over, but it looked like Pat Porter there in the nest thought that the ball was touched on Zane Trace's side. He's got a better view than us.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with the call when we're up here, and he's sitting right on the net. Scott served a little wayward to the back line there. That ties us back up, this time at 7.
Britta McQuinnif checking in for Adena here. She's going to go to the service line. Laura Smith was really had high praise for her on Tuesday as well. She said she plays smart. She plays with poise. And for the last couple of years now, she's been one of the better servers for Adena.
Time Alexis Farley with the kill for Zane Trace. Ever since they got tied up at 5, it's been back and forth here.
Neck and neck. That's Alexis Farley's first kill tonight. Everybody getting on the action. I've got 5 different players with kills now for Zane Trace.
Laney Scott to serve for the Pioneers. That was Preston getting it over for the Warriors, and a bit of miscommunication here for Zane Trace. Allows the ball to end up in the net. And we're tied up once again, this time at 8. Bossert to serve for the Warriors. May going to set it up for Farley. However, the point will go to Adena.
It's a great idea. If she hits that ball over the net, it's going to drop. But you have to hit the ball over the net, right? Another mistake for Zane Trace in their offensive rotation.
May sets it up to the left side. Detillion going for the kill, kept alive by the Warriors. Barry sets it up again. Detillion going for another kill. A nice block by, I believe, Sydney Fogelsong, and I think somebody else may have got in on that as well.
Yeah, that's Fogelsong, and I thought Eva Kruger I saw. I'm getting old, though, I can't see as well as I used to.
Bossert back to serve. Just misses the service line on Zane Trace's side. That cuts their lead to 1 at 10-9.
Nice little 3-0 burst there from Adena to take back the lead. This is more of what we, kind of thought we'd see all night long, the neck-and-neck type of play. I tell you what I didn't think we'd see is this many miss from the service line.
Hannah Burns back to serve for Adena. An 11-9 lead here for the Warriors. This one received by Scott May, going to set it up to the right side. Kept alive by Adena. Coming down the lane, it was, I believe, Burns. That was, Katie Burns going for the kill that time for Adena. Just misses the sideline there. 11-10 now in favor of the Warriors. Here comes Fogelsong down the middle. I tell you what, she comes in the game. It's honestly like a microwave, just immediate impact. She definitely doesn't cool off when she goes to the bench.
I love that analogy. That's 10. That was 10 kills though from now for Fogelsong tonight, and we're just halfway through the second. She's well on her way now to 20 on the night, especially if this match goes into 4 or 5.
Townsend back to serve for Adena. McCullough with the reception error, and a 13-10 lead now for Adena.
Townsend's second ace tonight. And I tell you what, if you're looking for rising stars, if you're looking for the future of SVC volleyball, she's serving right now. Grace Townsend has played amazingly this year. And she, there's another ace, her third of the night.
Only a sophomore.
Only a sophomore. Before, I don't remember seeing her on the court last year, especially during that tournament run. So she fits right into Laura Smith's philosophy, her coaching style. And if you're starting playing varsity for Adena, you're pretty good.
May going to set it up to the left side. Scott going for the kill. This one going to get hit back over by Townsend. McCullough able to dig it up. Scott going to go for the kill for Zane Trace. A nice dig by Hannah Burns. However, a nice block. I believe that was like a Hettinger or Hettinger. Hettinger?
I think it's Hettinger.
Hettinger.
I'm not sure if that was a miscommunication on the court. It looked like Fogelsong went up to hit the ball, and then Corcoran ended up hitting the ball, but Corcoran kind of stopped on the play.
Tell you what, I don't think I've seen a celebration like that before after a point. That was pretty unique there by Zane Trace. A 14-12 lead now for Adena. Townsend going to set it up. Fogelsong going for the kill and is successful in doing so. A 15-12 lead now for the Warriors. Haley Howard heading back to the service line for Adena. Hill with the reception. May sets it straight up in the air. Scott going for the kill, and she will get it. That'll put Zane Trace at 13 now.
Just one other score so far tonight. Notre Dame over Scioto Valley East tonight. SOC 1 play and 3. Notre Dame's 5-0.
Game's already over?
The game's already over. It was a quick one. Preston gets her third kill of the night.
Did it start at the same time as our game?
I think it started before.
Okay.
I don't think they had, I'm guessing, no JV game. But that's a nice little, I think it was 25, 5, 6, 13. So, you know, you go win a game, get dinner, go to sleep early. That's a nice night.
McCullough gets it to May, gets it over for Zane Trace. Coming the other way. That was Preston going for the kill. I'm sorry, that was Burns going for the kill. This time Scott for Zane Trace. Burns goes for the kill. A nice block by May, as well as, I believe that was Scott, Laney Scott.
So we talked about May earlier and how she was versatile. She can serve, she can hit. We've seen her hit tonight.
Yep.
She can block at the net all around. That's why she's in the top 10. I mean, you see it, it's on display tonight.
Townsend going to set it up. Burns with a nice touch, however, it was buried there, able to dig it up. Scott going for the kill. And will be successful. That cuts Adena's lead down to 1.
And so much attention is given to Lexi Scott.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times Laney Scott doesn't, get that
Flies
chance to
under
shine.
the radar.
But as you can see, she's not too shabby herself.
You talked about the sophomore on Adena's side. Laney Scott only a sophomore for Zane Trace. So a lot of young talent here on both sides of the net. As Zane Trace able to tie it back up at 16, and Coach Laura Smith going to take their first time out of the set.
Neck and neck. I think that's the the theme so far in the second set. This really hasn't been the set of the runs that we saw in that first.
It's just kind of been, I think maybe the longest run we've had is maybe 3 points.
3 to 4-0. But this is what I meant earlier when I said, Zane Trace can play to a high level, and they can sustain that. They're one of the best teams in the conference.
Yep.
They've done that, and it looked, I don't know what Cindy Davis said after the first set, but whatever she said must have worked because they've played a lot better. We see less mistakes in the serve receive. We see less mistakes, at the net and hitting-wise. So when they can serve receive, get the ball to Barry and May to try to get it to their hitters, obviously it makes a huge difference.
Lexi Scott to serve, coming out of the timeout, 16-16 here in the second set. May gonna set it up down the middle. Farley gets the kill, and Zane Trace with a 17-16 lead here in set number 2.
Alexis Farley with her second kill. She's played really well in this second set. I know that I say 2 kills, and you think, well, that's all she has, but she's done a lot of other things at the net to, throw Adena's hitters off like that.
Nice block. Farley gets it up in the air on the left side. Lainey Scott goes for the kill and gets it. A 2-point lead here for the Pioneers, 18-16. Pioneers looking to get their first win of the match and tied up at 1 here.
This is now the longest run of the game at 5-0.
Townsend going to set up all the way to the other side. Burns going to go for the kill. Thought we might have 4 touches there. Zane Trace able to keep it alive. And a nice block at the net there by Alexis Farley. And a 19-16 lead here for Zane Trace. Scott still back to serve. Townsend fakes the set, just tips it right over. A nice move there by Grace Townsend. Grace Townsend.
Yeah, and it ends that run as well. Side out, get Brendan McQuinness back here at the service line, and you can kind of reset. But that 6-0 run, if they can win this set, that's your key moment so far tonight. Say they win this set inside the match.
McQuinness serve received by Barry. Farley going for the kill, just didn't get it up over the net. The point will go for Adena. May gets it up in the air. Farley gets it over for Zane Trace. Townsend all the way to the other side. Burns goes for the kill. Kept alive by the Pioneers.
May and Barry there with the block at the net.
We're back, I believe, back tied up at 19. Tied once again. We've had a lot of ties here in set number 2.
And if Adena scores here, you got to think about maybe calling a timeout if you're Zane Trace.
May keeps it alive for Zane Trace. Farley gets it over. Preston going for the kill. A nice block by Farley. Scott keeps it alive. Farley going to try it once again. Goes for the kill. And that puts Zane Trace out in front, 20-19.
And Kinley May kept that play alive. She got the first ball to her hitter to get it back over the net, and it wasn't a great pass, and she adjusted to it well.
Townsend going to set it up. Burns with a nice touch. May going to get it back over for the Pioneers. Townsend once again going to set it up. Preston coming down the lane. This one dug up by Scott. And a nice touch there by Grace Townsend. Really 2 nice touches from her in a row.
Yeah, and late in this set to make a huge difference. And that honestly, that's just playing with volleyball IQ. I mean, she can get that set to Hannah Burns or Fogelsong at the net, but she finds that hole and puts it back at a tie.
Fogelsong back in the game. Nice dig there by Scott. On the left side, I believe that was Kendra Detillion, almost blocked by Fogelsong. However, Detillion able to find the hole there and get the kill for Zane Trace.
And you can hear Fogelsong audibly say no when she got tangled up at the net there.
Nice serve by May. Coming down the middle is Bossert. Farley, and this time Fogelsong able to get the block. We're tied once again. This time to 21.
Ties 19, 20, and 21. When I talked to Hannah Burns and Sydney Fogelsong after that win on Tuesday, and they said in moments like this is where they show the leadership to the younger kids and kind of lead by example as they take the lead now on that hitting error. And Zane Trace is going to signal for their second time out of the set.
So Cindy Davis going to take a timeout. Adena out in front, 22-21 over Zane Trace in a set that, if you've been watching the whole time, it's been back and forth for pretty much, I'd say, the whole entire set.
Yeah, I mean,
both teams holding leads, probably been tied at 6 or 7 different score points. This time Adena out in front as we head into the timeout. It's been a pretty good set.
Yeah, according to my notes here, the biggest lead in this game has been 3 points, and that was 19-16 after the 6-0 run from Zane Trace. Other than that, you're looking at 5-4, 7-6,
yep.
And a bunch of ties in between. So this is SVC volleyball.
Yeah.
This is what makes SVC volleyball fun. Also got a score, Dewey, from Southeastern and Piketon.
Okay.
Piketon takes the first set over Southeastern 25-18. Looks like Jazz Lamberson had 7 kills in that first set. Speaking of great players, Jazz Lamberson, tell you what, she's tearing it up this year.
May sets it up. Farley gets it over just a little bit past the service line. A 23-21 lead now for the Warriors. 2 points away from taking the second set here are the Warriors. One received by Townsend. May gets it up. Scott going for the kill. I'll tell you what, if that didn't get blocked at the net, that would have had some juice coming off of it too, off the hands of Alexis Farley. Does get the point, but you could hear it from up here. It was pretty solid contact.
That's some mustard on it. So Farley, that's her 4th kill of this set alone.
Townsend sets it up. That's Kruger going for the kill, and that puts Adena at 24, 1 point away from taking set number 2. That put them ahead 2-0 in the match.
Obviously, it's a judgment call when you're a defensive player down there in that position. I don't know if that ball would have landed inside the volleyball line.
Townsend back to serve. Zane Trace has trouble with it. May keeps it alive, but not able to make good contact on the ball. Zane Trace falls in the second set as well. A 2-0 lead for Adena as we head into set number 3. You're watching Ohio High School Volleyball right here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by OhioHealth.
At OhioHealth, you can see your doctor here or here, on this or on these. And no matter if you're over here, over there, or anywhere in between, you'll feel good knowing OhioHealth provides the finest care anywhere. Schedule care today at ohiohealth.com/finestcare.
See everything Southern Ohio Sports Authority presented by OhioHealth has to offer by visiting our website at SOSAOhio.com for complete coverage of area athletes and teams, including game stories, features, live streams of games, player and coach interviews, nightly scores, area standings, and much more. You can even view and purchase action photos from our more than 100 galleries. That's SOSAOhio.com for the best local sports coverage around.
Welcome back in here to Zane Trace High School, getting ready to kick off set number 3 here in tonight's matchup. You know, Derek, Adena has just been more dominant. I mean, that's really the only way. I mean, right there, obviously a little bit of a more tougher set. It was a more balanced set for the two teams. However, Adena able to pull away. You know, I'd say is Zane Trace would probably take a pretty hard hit to any, I don't know how I would word it.
Oh, your momentum. I mean,
momentum. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, you give all you got maybe in that second set to possibly, tie the match and go to a third set in a lot of better position than you are. That can take, the wind out of some of your sails. But that's a good start.
Yep. A 1-0 lead is always a good start.
Hey, make it quick. I'm on air.
So a 1-0 lead here for Zane Trace. May back to serve for the Pioneers. Little miscommunication here for Zane Trace. And I believe that was Grace Townsend getting the point there. No, it will be a point for Zane Trace. I thought it was going to be a point for Adena. However, I don't think it made it over the net. So May back to the service line once again. Here with a 2-0 lead for the Pioneers.
Well, if you're looking for a way to bounce back after going down 2-0, this is the way.
I believe they started. Oh, actually, no, they didn't get their lead until later in the second set. As May serve just a bit beyond the back service line. And a 2-1 lead now for the Pioneers. That is senior Hannah Burns back to serve for the Warriors. And reception there for Gracie McCullough. And that'll tie it up at 2.
It's going to go down as Burns' first ace tonight. But, really, to me, that's a critical point. If you can take the lead here, it's the same momentum. You're going to get your brooms out after that.
Townsend sets it up for Fogelsong. Zane Trace able to keep it alive. Fogelsong going to try again. Dug up by McCullough.
Yeah, we're going to call, look like maybe Delaney Berry, but they're going to call her in the net as Adena takes the 3-2 lead.
May keeps it alive. Scott just gets it over for the Pioneers. Fogelsong going for the kill. It's blocked by Alexis Farley and Kindred Detillion. I'll tie it up at 3.
You talked about the mustard that Fogelsong puts on her. That's got to hurt, right? Like at the net, it's got to hurt.
Yeah, I'd say if you don't catch it perfectly, it might leave a mark. Nice move by Townsend. Zane Trace able to keep it alive. Scott trying to tip it back over. However, gets stuck up in the net. A 4-3 lead here for Adena.
I'd have to go look back and look at the tape. It looked like that was Townsend's left hand.
Yeah, it was almost like a dunk, kind of. I mean,
nifty little move to add to your arsenal.
Townsend at the service line for Adena, received by Hill. Zane Trace able to keep it alive, get it back over the net. Fogelsong coming down the middle, trying to tip it over. Townsend will eventually get it back over. May going to set it up down the middle. Scott comes down the lane and gets the kill for Zane Trace. And once again, tied at 4. This, set number 3 starting off just how set number 2 ended.
That was such a great adjustment in midair by Lexi Scott. She goes up at the net and she's contending with Fogelsong, but instead of hitting it right at Fogelsong, she gets that she hits that corner to tie.
May going to set it up. Laney Scott going for the kill. Townsend and Fogelsong going to try their own number. And they're going to get rewarded for it. A 5-4 lead for the Pioneers here early in set number 3. Gracie McCullough back to serve for the Pioneers.
It's going to be a free ball. It's a miscommunication at the net there as well.
Lexi Scott able to get the kill this time for Zane Trace. A 6-4 lead now for the Pioneers.
You know, we said earlier that, or I said earlier that Fogelsong maybe hits the hardest ball. Lexi Scott's right up there with her.
They got a nice block there by Scott. And we saw, I believe it was Townsend trying to go with that left-handed tip over the net on the second touch. This time Scott was ready for it, and Coach Laura Smith going to take a timeout here, down 3 in set number 3.
Well, Lexi Scott so far in this set has been the difference. I've got her tonight with 12 kills, but it was a 4-4 game. Kill, block, kill, or I think it was kill, kill, block, or however it went, though, in that sequence. She's got Zane Trace off to a 4-0 run now. If you're into soccer, Dewey, our Brock Netter is at Chillicothe Uniota tonight, the girls' game. 0-0 there with 17 minutes left, but I would watch Uniota and Chillicothe play Tiddlywinks. Just because it's Uniota and Chillicothe. Yep. Not a lot of love lost there, but for anybody viewing, obviously tomorrow's always a big night for our crew. We'll be live streaming. You'll be back tomorrow down at Waverly to live stream Waverly and Chillicothe, and I believe your dad is joining you tomorrow. So
me, him, and Carson will be down there
Carson
with us
Francis,
as well.
Yep. Then we'll also have coverage from Southeastern, Minford, Zane Trace, and Westfall. So looks like 5 different locations tomorrow as well.
Corcoran going to go for the kill. Scott with another block. And it'll result in another point for Zane Trace. Scott with 2 straight blocks for Zane Trace. Able to give them a 4-point lead, which may be their highest lead in all 3 sets, if not close to it. May going to set it up to the left side. Scott goes for the kill. It's blocked down by Fogelsong. And that ends the Pioneer run and cuts their lead down to 3 at 8-5.
You know, we've seen a 5-0 run. We've seen a 6-0 run in the first set from Zane Trace. But it seems like every time Adena is able to break that streak, they're able to go on another run of their own to close the gap and then eventually overtake the lead.
Lexi Scott down the middle. A nice dig there by Howard. But they won't be able to make much out of it. A 9-5 lead now for Zane Trace. And I mean, really, not to be cliche, but it's do or die time for Zane Trace. Down 2-0. You got to pick up a win here, try to extend the match. And, you know, they started off hot, and they've continued that throughout. A 4-point lead at 9-5. If they can keep going what they have going, it should result in a win here for the Pioneers in set 3. And, of course, I say that, and once again, the run ends as a 9-6 lead now for Zane Trace.
Well, the big thing you said was if. You're playing Adena. It's really tough to go on any type of run against Adena. It's really tough to win 3 straight sets, and Zane Trace definitely, like you said, do or die, but backs against the wall time.
This one, I believe, blocked by Preston. I believe Burns may have got a piece of it as well. 2 straight points for Adena. That cuts the deficit to 2 at 9-7 here in set number 3. Kruger back to serve for the Warriors, received by Hill. He's set up by Barry on the right side. Scott goes for the kill. However, puts it right into the net. And that'll put the score at 9-8.
And Dewey, we've seen glimpses of how good Fogelsong, Burns, Preston, Corcoran can be at the net, but I really don't feel like one of those players are beating Zane Trace right now. Honestly, I feel like Zane Trace has beaten themselves a lot tonight.
Townsend sets it up down the middle. Preston goes for the kill. Scott going to try to do the same and is able to do so. That kill will get Zane Trace into double digits and give them a 2-point lead at 10-8.
And that's Lexi's 14th kill tonight by my count, and that leads all players tonight.
Scott back to serve for the Pioneers. Preston able to get it over for Adena. Farley in the middle. And it just catches the back service line for a point for the Pioneers. It's back to 3.
And even if that wouldn't have fallen inside the line, it looks like it was touched at the net there as well.
Farley just not able to make contact. Had the right idea, just wasn't able to execute. An 11-9 lead for Zane Trace. McQuiniff going to go back to the service line for the Warriors.
That entire play just looked weird.
Yeah, it was a bit funky. And McQuiniff with a service error. It gives the ball back to Zane Trace and gives them back their 3-point lead, this time at 12-9. Laney Scott to serve, and miscommunication between McQuiniff and Kruger leads to an ace for Laney Scott. Gives the Pioneers a 4-point lead now. Scott back to serve once again. Townsend all the way to the other side. Burns going for the kill and is able to get Adena into double digits at 10.
That's the first time we've called Hannah's name in a little bit. It's kind of, Adena's really relied on Fogelsong at the net, and it looks like they went to Preston more than they did on Tuesday.
Well, Preston has kind of seemed to be Fogelsong's, she's kind of the one who takes over down the middle when Fogelsong goes out. And I believe that's who just subbed in, was Fogelsong for Preston.
And, neither one of those players are going to play the back row. But they've made some adjustments, and obviously you're going to make adjustments with the teams that you play, or the different teams that you play. But they made some adjustments since Tuesday. They're going away from Burns a little bit more, where they went to her more against Unioto on Tuesday.
Fogelsong coming down the middle, able to get the kill. We've said it before. We've said it tonight. Just immediate impact for Sydney Fogelsong. Able to cut Zane Trace's lead down to 1. Brooke Boster back to serve for the Warriors. It's received by McCullough. Scott will keep it alive. They'll tip it back over. On the other side, Burns going for the kill. This time able to get it. That'll tie it up at 13.
Yeah, and it's a 4-0 run. I think Davis is going to fiery right now. Not happy. I do like watching Cindy Davis coach. She's not afraid to let her feelings known. Let's put it that way. But
sometimes that really makes out to be the best coaches.
Absolutely, it does. Well, that's why Zane Trace is in the position they are.
You have coaches that push to get the best out of each one of their players, and if they're not getting that, they know that. And I think Cindy Davis is aware of that right now.
I've now got, just kind of looking at the stat sheet, I've got Sydney Fogelsong with 12 kills. Lexi Scott, I said earlier, she leads all players with 14 kills, and then Hannah Burns and Alexis Farley with 7 and 5, respectively. So, but tons of talent. Even if this is a sweep, even if it is a 3-0, that doesn't mean the matchup later in the year between these two is going to be a sweep.
I mean, we've talked off the air a little bit about how, this is a really marquee matchup, not only in the SVC, but in the area. They're going to meet again later in the year. I don't have the date written down, but obviously it'd be in the second half of the league season in regard to the SVC. So, regardless of the outcome tonight, it's definitely going to be a matchup that you mark on your calendar later in the year.
Well, and these two have met in district action as well. I mean, you talk about Division III district volleyball, and usually somebody's from the SVC, and honestly, usually two teams from the SVC are winning district titles and playing in Logan for a regional.
Fogelsong going to tip it back over, dug up by Scott coming down the middle. Hedinger able to get the point for Zane Trace. The Pioneers have pulled ahead 2 at 15-13.
Cindy Davis, her words must have worked during that timeout.
Kenley May back to serve for the Pioneers. This time received by Bossert, set up by Townsend. Burns going for the kill. A nice dig there by May. Hedinger going to tip it back over. Townsend going to get it right back over for Adena. I believe that was Townsend with the block for Adena. Fogelsong was in the area as well.
It was, but it fell on Adena's side. Yeah, so that's going to be Kendra Detillion with the kill.
You got a better eye than I do, that's for sure.
And Trace lucky not to be called in the net there.
Vogelsong going for the kill, kept alive by McCullough.
Adena lucky not to be called in the lift, the play right after that.
May going to set it up to Tillian going for the kill. Adena able to keep it alive. Burns going to get it back over for Adena. Dug up by Scott. Back to Scott. This time dug up by McQuinness. Vogelsong going for the kill. A nice dig by McCullough. A nice volley here for both teams. Burns going to go for the kill. And able to find a hole in the defense. Tell you what, that was one of the longer volleys we've had tonight. And really, there were some nice plays as well. I mean, the one by Burns right there before the kill, and she's fading out of bounds almost to the boundary line of what would be the basketball court.
Well, sometimes, especially when kids like this is hitting it or hitting it at you, the best thing to do is just get it back over the net. I mean, however you got to do it. I've seen him kick the ball back over the net. But you're right. I mean, the athleticism full on display there. And there.
Yep, this time it was Hedinger with the kill for Zane Trace. She'll check out. Reagan Hill will check back in for Zane Trace.
But I tell you what, in those 3 rotations, Hedinger made a difference. 2 kills, a block at the net, and altering kill attempts from Adena as well. Those were good minutes played.
Townsend sets it up. Vogelsong going for the kill. Blocked away by Scott. I believe it just catches the line.
You just got to be living right. The volleyball gods are just there at that point.
Hill serve is received by Bossert. And it'll be out of bounds. It'll be a 19-14 lead here for Zane Trace. Big chance here for Zane Trace to take a set.
Yeah, and Hill from the service line is going to have a chance to lead them to it.
Vogelsong comes down the middle, tips it down. Scott will get it back over. On the other side, that was Burns going for the kill. Cotillion going to get it over for the Pioneers. Vogelsong back to Burns. May going to set it up to the left side. Cotillion tips it over. Townsend going to set it up. Vogelsong coming down the lane.
It was a great play from McCullough in the back.
Townsend going to set it up once again. Katie Burns going to get it back over. Nice dig by May. Cotillion goes for the kill. Once again, a long volley here, and it finally ends in favor of the Pioneers. A 20-14 lead here in set number 3.
And
Coach Laura Smith going to take a timeout.
Zane Trace now on a 7-1 run since they called the timeout.
And you expect a run here for Adena coming out of the timeout? I mean, it seems to be
a lot of times we see that, absolutely. But 20-14, I mean, you have to feel good in the position that you're in if you're Zane Trace right now. Probably they're tied with a 6-0 run earlier in the night, but this is the longest run they've went on. And Vogelsong is about to rotate out of the game. So if you're looking to take advantage of an opportunity, there's a golden one in front of you right now. Looking at some other scores in the area. Dewey, like I said, Brock's at Chillicothe's Unioto girls soccer game.
At Chillicothe?
At Unioto, actually. Haven Holmes has scored for Chillicothe to give them a 1-0 lead, it looks like, at halftime. Then in volleyball, Fairfield Union has a 1-0 lead over Taze Valley. They won the first set 25-21. And it looked like I saw earlier that Western had a 2-1 lead over Green in SOC 1 play. We talked about Notre Dame winning that game pretty early. And
we were
their SOC,
the first set.
Yeah, their SOC 1 counterparts are 3 sets in and still playing.
Hill still at the service line coming out of the timeout for Zane Trace. We'll see if the timeout ends up aiding the Warriors, as here comes Vogelsong down the middle, dug up by McCullough. Zane Trace able to keep it alive. Townsend going to set it up. That's Burns. Scott going to go for it. The kill. And that puts Zane Trace at 21-14.
Lexi's 15th kill of the night gives Zane Trace the touchdown lead, and Like we talked about momentum, Zane Trace playing with it. They've got plenty of it right now.
Hill's serve is received by Bossert. Fogelsong going to get it back over, dug up by May. Scott coming down the middle. Almost able to get the kill there. However, the Warriors able to keep it alive. Burns coming the other way. That is Detillion hitting it over for Zane Trace. Townsend once again. Fogelsong tries to tip it over. Blocked by Scott.
I'm going to call her in the net. It looks like to make it a 9-1 run.
You know, we talked, or at least I talked. I said, you know, it might be a momentum killer that second set. You know, Zane Trace came out really strong, wasn't able to get it done. Well, they proved me wrong. They've come out this set full of momentum with now an 8-point lead over Adena at 22-14. Nice dig there by May. However, will stay in play. And that'll end what I believe you said was a 9-1 run.
That is correct. Yep, Fogelsong there puts an end to that as Grace Townsend heads to the service line here. But this would be, if they can't take this set, I mean, they're going to beat themselves. As we said earlier, I mean, just a golden opportunity here. And here's the thing, Zane Trace, if they can win this set, keep the momentum, they're a team that can push this match to 5 sets.
May keeps it alive for Zane Trace. Scott trying to get it back over, can't find any room in play. Be a 22-16 lead now for Zane Trace. May with the serve reception. Scott going to go for the kill. Tipped back over by Corcoran. May going to set it up. Scott going to give it another go. This time able to find a hole in the defense. And Zane Trace with a 7-point lead, just 2 points away from taking their first set of the night here in set number 3.
And that kill there is reminiscent of earlier in this set where Lexi Scott goes up against 2 defenders at the net and then in midair transfers her body to the right side and finds a hole. Not all kills are thunderous. That one was a dink and dunk, and it gets the job done.
Fogelsong once again. The powerful kill that puts Adena at 17.
That kill was thunderous. That's her 14th of the night.
I believe Preston will check in now. In for Fogelsong. Haley Howard back to the service line for Adena. Hill going to get it back over the net for the Pioneers. Corcoran on the other side going for the kill. A nice dig by Hill. Laney Scott going to get it back over for the Pioneers. This time Corcoran going for another kill and just misses the service line. Zane Trace now 1 point away from taking this set here. Barry to serve. It's dug up. And Adena will keep hopes alive here, trailing Zane Trace 24-18. Kruger back to serve for the Warriors. Adena going to look to make a run here. Kruger serve is received by Hill. Tipped up. May going to get it back over. Nice dig by Bossert. Corcoran going for the kill for Adena. May keeps it alive. Scott in the middle. Going to get it back over. Another dig by Bossert. Preston coming down the middle. Once again kept alive by May. Scott gets it back over. This time Burns going to give it a go. Finds a hole and gets the kill. And Zane Trace's lead is now cut to 5.
Not time to panic just yet. I would
still have a timeout.
Yeah, still have a timeout and a 5-point lead, but I would think if it gets about 24-21 here, which there's 24-20 with the ace from Kruger.
That was a great serve. It
was
the top part of the net. And Cindy Davis going to go ahead and take their final timeout here in set 3. We're going to take a quick break. You're watching Ohio High School Volleyball right here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by OhioHealth.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie & Son Trucking. Willie & Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie & Son Trucking each week at SOSAOhio.com.
At OhioHealth, you can see your doctor here or here, on this or on these. And no matter if you're over here, over there, or anywhere in between, you'll feel good knowing OhioHealth provides the finest care anywhere. Schedule care today at ohiohealth.com/finestcare.
And coming out of the timeout here, a 24-20 lead for Zane Trace. Adena not finished quite yet. Kruger back to serve for the Warriors. Serve is received by Hill, set up by Scott. May going to get it over for the Pioneers. Townsend going to do the same. Burns going to look for the kill.
It's going to be a free ball here.
Corcoran going to set it up. Preston coming down the middle, goes for the kill, and a nice dig by Barry. And Lexi Scott with the set-winning kill, a 25-20 win here in set number 3 for the Pioneers. That'll send us into set 4. Adena out in front, 2-1. You are watching Ohio High School Volleyball right here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by OhioHealth.
At OhioHealth, you can see your doctor here or here, on this or on these. And no matter if you're over here, over there, or anywhere in between, you'll feel good knowing OhioHealth provides the finest care anywhere. Schedule care today at ohiohealth.com/finestcare.
Buying a car from the wrong dealership can leave a bad taste in your mouth.
Yuck!
But it's our mission at Glockner to make car buying a piece of cake.
Hooray!
Maybe it's our fast, friendly sales process, or that we don't play games with the numbers we show you. You'll get a detailed proposal with full disclosure on your purchase that makes sense. No tricks or hidden fees. Plus, stop by any Glockner location for a 15-minute KBB vehicle appraisal, and we'll give you big cash for your vehicle same day, even if you don't buy one from us. And for this month only, new and pre-owned vehicle buyers get their first oil change for free. That's piece of cake car buying. We make it easy at Glockner.com.
Just a few moments away here at Zane Trace High School. Getting ready to kick off the second set. I'm a few sets behind the fourth set of tonight's matchup. A big-time set there for Zane Trace. Was dominant the whole time. Yeah, they kind of proved me wrong. I said that coming out of the second set, it was a real momentum killer for Zane Trace, but You know, they were shot out of the cannon that whole third set and were able to pick up the win. And that puts us in now in the fourth set with a 2-1 lead for Adena.
Yeah, I don't think you were wrong, Dewey. I think it could have been. Zane Trace just came out to play. I mean, and a lot of times, you know, this team will tell you they can turn on and off that switch. Well, they got to keep it on to beat an Adena team, and they're going to have to do it 3 straight times.
Well, I definitely think both teams knew that to win tonight's game, it wasn't going to be easy. It was going to take everything both of these teams have to pick up a win, and I think by now both teams are well aware of that.
Well, and I think everybody in attendance didn't think it would be a sweep.
No.
This was going 4 or 5 from the get-go.
Burns back to serve for the Warriors, received by Scott. We'll get it back over for Zane Trace. A nice dig by Bossett. Zane Trace able to keep it alive to Tillion on the left side. Gets it over the net. However, I think she got tangled up in the net trying to get it over. That'll give a 2-0 lead to the Adena Warriors. So Burns back to serve once again. This time received by Barry. Scott going to get it back over. Just misses the line.
Can't let this lead get too out of hand, especially with your back still against the wall if you're Zane Trace. It gets to about 5-6 nothing, might want to regroup.
Scott going to get it back over, finds a hole, and Zane Trace finally able to get on the board here in I keep saying third set. In set number 4, I got to get caught up here.
Well, earlier you said the second set.
Yeah.
So I mean, you get one closer each time.
I think I'm good now. I think I'm all caught up. He'll serve just a bit beyond the service line on Adena's side. It'll be a 4-1 lead for the Warriors. Corcoran checking in for Adena. McQuinnif will head to the bench. Back to serve, I believe, is number 5, Grace Townsend. Scott going for the kill, and she will get it. That cuts Adena's lead down to 2.
We had talked about Southeastern and Piketon. Southeastern wins that second set, so another SVC match tonight, at least going to 4. Southeastern wins that set 25-22.
Song going for the kill, dug up by May. This time Scott can go for the kill the other way. Townsend able to keep it alive. This time Corcoran going to give it a shot. A nice dig by Hill.
That's a great play from Grace Townsend.
May
and
looking for the back corner. A nice play by Kinley May. That cuts Adena's lead to 1.
And that's called experience at your position. A lot of players wouldn't see that hole back there. They're expecting you to make a set if you are the setter, and she finds the open spot on the floor.
A nice effort from May, just nobody home on the dig there. There'll be a 5-3 lead for Adena.
I tell you what, Adena's lucky to get that point. You could see Grace Townsend look at her hitter and said, "That's my fault." It looked like she mishit that set, but obviously Eva Kruger put it where it needed to be.
Scott going for the kill. Preston able to get it back over for Adena. Laney Scott going to go for the kill. However, Adena able to keep it alive. I think that was Corcoran who was able to get it back over. And this time, Burns able to find open area. And the back right on Zane Trace's side. He gives him a 3-point lead here at 6-3.
You know, really, I thought that might have been a missed opportunity at the net. Lexi Scott's sitting up there, and instead of just, hammering that ball down, and credit to her, if she would have hammered down, she might have been over the net up top. But instead of hammering that ball down, she kind of just tipped it over, which gave Adena a free ball, and then Burns hits from the back row into the back corner.
Scott going for the kill, gets wrapped up in the net. However, with Corcoran and Preston there, it most likely wasn't going to get over anyways. Kind of twin towers there in the middle. Yeah. Set up a pretty nice barricade there in the middle of the floor.
Caroline Corcoran's given Adena a nice little boost off the bench as well tonight. That almost took out Coach Smith.
Laney Scott's got something. going there for Laura Smith, out to get her.
I mean, I tell you what, she's nimble on her feet.
There was some agility on demonstration over there.
I mean, I'm serious. I'm impressed. That's the practicing with all her kids each night.
Zane Trace able to end the Adena run there. I think it was 2 or 3 straight there. I might be wrong, but
no, it was 4-3. It was a little 4-0 run, but Lexi Scott 20 kills tonight, the first to 20 tonight. So got Fogelsong with 14, and now Burns in double digits with 10.
Yeah, Scott 18 kills in the 3-0 win over Paint Valley on Tuesday. This time Corcoran with the kill.
And that's what Corcoran can do. Last year she really ate up the FAC's defenses with that type of play there. Yeah. You put her in an offense like this that's a little bit even more high octane, and she's going to flourish.
Barry going to set it up to the right side. Scott going for the kill, dug up by Bossert. And Corcoran going to get it back over. Barry and Scott going to try to hook up again. A nice block by Preston. Not Corcoran, but it was Preston and Burns in on the block there for Adena. Actually, they gave the point to.
Yeah,
I got to be.
It's hard to see from up here with the ball on each side of the net, but Lexi's going to be credited for that kill. And then now, of course, we're going to log that ace to Lexi Scott. It's like the old baseball adage, right? When you make an error, you come back, and you're the first to hit the home run to make up for it. Yeah. Back-to-back here, though, with Lexi with no errors.
Townsend going to try to set it up. Burns will get it over for Adena. Laney Scott on the left side. Able to nick the top of the net and find a hole in the defense. A 9-7 lead now for Adena.
If you're Adena there, the defense, I mean, that's just bad luck. Laney Scott, that's her 4th kill tonight.
I'll tell you what, Townsend's set there was a little off target. However, nice adjustment from Preston, able to be agile enough to get back and make a play on the ball, finds a hole in the defense. And Adena, the first team in double digits here in set number 4.
Elsewhere, Dewey, I mentioned that Western Green win, but I didn't. Brock had Chillicothe now up 2-0 in that volleyball game as well. Or I'm sorry, in that soccer game.
I was going to say, I thought it was a soccer game. I didn't think it was a volleyball game. And Scott able to get it back over for Zane Trace. Burns going to go for the kill. Nice block from Hettinger and May. Hettinger going to give it a go. I tell you what, if I wasn't looking at the officials, I probably would have called that as a block, but I was a little bit more aware of the officials there. The kill, I think, will go to Hettinger. And that'll cut Adena's lead down to 2. Scott back to serve. Burns going to go for the kill on the left side. Townsend just going to hit it over for Adena. Scott from deep trying to get it over. Heather puts it right into the center of the net. It'll be back to 3 for Adena. May going to set it up over the middle to Hettinger. Fogelsong going to make it back over for Adena. Hettinger going to give it another go. Blocked by Fogelsong, tipped over by Burns. That is Detillion. Nice dig there in the back row by Kruger. And Fogelsong able to come away with the kill for Adena. 12-8 lead now for the Warriors.
You could see Coach Smith on that play pointing over towards the other side here where Kendra Detillion was sitting. She hits a cross-court kill, and Eva Kruger standing there in perfect position to make a defensive play.
They're going to set it up. And although it didn't land in bounds, touched by Adena, kill will go to Lexi Scott.
And I think what you see there is Fogelsong, it looked like she didn't want to touch that ball, but she didn't really have the choice. So it goes out of her fingertips, and then Brenda McQuinnick in the back row doesn't have a chance to make that play because of the deflection.
Townsend back to Burns. Nice dig there by McCullough. Vogelsong, I don't know if it was intentional, but either didn't make good contact or tried to let up to throw off the defense there. Not able to get the point for Adena. A 12-10 lead now for the Warriors. May back to serve for Zane Trace. Vogelsong goes for the kill on the left side. Nobody home. And once again, Adena back to a 3-point lead over Zane Trace.
You know, even if Zane Trace ends up losing this match, I don't want to get out of here without Gracie McCullough has played a ridiculous game in the back row here. It's not easy, to field these hits from Adena's front line and even from the back row, and she's really handling the libero position well. This is my first time I've gotten to see her play this season.
And back-to-back kills for Sydney Vogelsong puts Adena out in front, 14-10 here in set number 4.
It's almost not fair. When she hits the
really
ball, we need to check her birth certificate. Like a Little League baseball, right? Yeah. I'll have to tell her that after the game.
So when received by Scott, it'll go right back over. Nice awareness there from Townsend, able to tip it right back over for the point. And Coach Cindy Davis going to take her first time out of the set. Here for Zane Trace, trailing Adena 15-10.
Gracie Townsend's had, I've got her down for 3 kills, and each one of them have been, the first 2 were kind of in a sneaky fashion. That one was maybe the easiest kill she'll have during her, I'm sure, a successful career, but during her entire 4 years. Came right to her at the net. She just taps it ever so slightly and gives them a 5-point lead, and really getting late now in the 4th set. Here's where Cindy Davis called a timeout last set, and Zane Trace comes out and goes on a run. So
I think it was
be interesting to see.
I think it was a 9-1 run.
Yes,
is what it ended up getting into that. So now that put them up 19-16.
Right.
So they could definitely use another 9-1 run, or a 5-0 run would even do it and tie things up at 15. Try to send this to set number 5. And I tell you, I thought I knew. I really thought I knew a lot about volleyball. I did not know until a couple weeks ago that set number 5 only goes to 15. I really thought all 5 went to 25, but.
Well, that's what's so crazy about Zane Trace's loss to Fisher Catholic. Like I said earlier,
it went to like
26-24 in the 5th. When Coach Smith, when she sent me that score that night, I thought she was a typo.
May going to set it up down the middle. Hedinger going for the kill. That'll get Zane Trace to 11. Now the only way to go on a 9-1 run is to go on a 1-0 run. So a good start coming out of the timeout for Zane Trace. Reagan Hill going to head back to the service line for the Pioneers. Serve is received by Bossert. Vogelsong coming down the middle and just misses the service line on Zane Trace's side. Will go out of bounds. 2 straight points here for Zane Trace.
Southeastern in Pike tonight, they win the second set, 25-21. Panthers there are looking for their first SVC win this year.
Vogelsong, a nice dig from May. A nice block from Barry. And he'll get 3 straight points here coming out of the timeout for Zane Trace. I don't know what Cindy Davis is doing during the timeouts, but especially tonight, it's worked really well.
I think each time Reagan Hill's been at the service line.
Yeah, it seems like it. Well, you say that, and
I need to stop talking about the service line. I talked about Southeastern there, winning that third set there in Piketon. I want to remind viewers we have a really, really it's a touching story of Coach Lori Coker as Grace Townsend logs her 4th ace of the night. But we've got a really cool story coming out where we got to sit down and talk with Coach Coker there at Southeastern. She's going through some personal things this year, and you'll get to hear her story. We're going to release that either Saturday night or Sunday afternoon. But I got to interview her and a couple of her players and her husband, Alan, Fogelsong, again, just...
Wow. That's all you can say.
But yeah, got to talk to a couple of players of hers, and just a really inspiring story, I should say. That's maybe the best word for it. But got to interview them. Corey Hall, one of our guys that takes pictures for us, and he's been such an asset to us at SOSA, and we kind of collaborated on the project. I'm really excited for it, though. So for people that are watching this game, make sure you look out for that on our website this weekend.
And that is SOSAOhio.com. There's a whole lot of cool stuff over there, game articles, write-ups, stories like we said. I believe we have interviews over there as well as scores from around the area. So yeah, that is SOSAOhio.com for everything we have to offer for area sports. A 19-13 lead here for Adena, looking to take a win here in set 4. It was Farley going for the kill. Adena able to keep it alive. Fogelsong coming down the middle. May gonna set it up to Scott on the left side. Dug up by Bossert. Fogelsong gonna give it another go. This time able to get it to go. And a 20-13 lead here. A 7-point lead for the Adena Warriors.
And down the stretch here, Fogelsong just absolutely been imperative for the Warriors. Really her fingerprints have been all over this match all night long, but has really made a difference here late.
That was an ace there for Grace Townsend. And Cindy Davis going to take her second and final timeout of the 4th set. If you're going to cook something up, it's got to be now.
It better be.
Yeah, Adena 4 points away here from winning the set. An 8-point lead for the Warriors.
We talk about Adena and the success that they've had, in Frankfurt on the volleyball court, and I think a lot coming into the season. Maybe a lot of people after the losses that they had, from last year's state semifinal run. Maybe I don't think they favored, Adena to win the SVC. I don't think they, maybe thought they'd finish above Zane Trace or Unioda. The SVC is tough to win in itself, but when you lose as much as Adena did last year, it gets really tough to win. And I think a lot of people forgot that, Hannah Burns, Sydney Fogelsong, Brendan McQuinnif, Brooke Bossert, they all played on that team. They all bring that experience back. And then you add Grace Townsend, who's obviously played like she has tonight, and then a Brindley Preston and Eva Kruger. And let's just say there's never a shortage of talent at Adena on the volleyball courts.
Townsend to serve for the Warriors. It goes beyond the back line of Zane Trace.
Well, really anything else, that timeout, what that did was stop the roll that Grace Townsend was on at the service line.
Yep. Zane Trace going to look to make a run here. Corcoran going to go for the kill and ends that run quite abruptly. A 22-18 lead for the Warriors. Barry going to set it up down the middle. Scott. Her kill attempt just a little bit beyond the back line. I thought it may have caught a piece, but.
And as good as Lexi Scott's played tonight, down 9 in the 4th with your back against, so she could do it, and she can bring Zane Trace back, but this is asking a miracle now.
Well, that is one way to start. They're able to cut it to a 23-15 lead for Adena. Delaney Berry going to head back to serve for the Pioneers. Townsend going to set up. Corcoran coming down the middle to the other side. Scott goes forward to kill. 2 straight points now for Zane Trace. It's not over yet.
Not yet, but obviously with Adena's in the driver's seat, I would be very surprised to see them drop. They'd have to go on a 7-0, 8-1 run here.
Barry gets it back over for the Pioneers. Townsend sets it up. Preston coming down the middle, looks for the kill. A nice dig by McCullough. Scott going the other way. Able to find some open room. The third straight point for the Pioneers. That cuts it to 6 at 23-17. And Laura Smith going to take a quick timeout.
Lexi Scott now with 22 kills. That's a leader in the match. And then Fogelsong following 19. Burns with 10. And then you have Farley and Laney Scott now with 5 each. But like I said, now they're on a 3-0 run. So I guess I should have said they'd have to go on a 9-0 run to take the lead, or an 8-1 run to force a tie here, or at 24, that is. So, like you said, not impossible, but not very possible, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's bottom of the ninth, 2 outs.
You're down 3 with the bases loaded, or
you might be down 3. The tying run is in the double hole.
Or that, yeah.
With nobody on. And
as you can tell, we're baseball guys,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We've already talked about batting stances and at-bats and routines.
Well, you talk about routines. It could go either way, Not so much in football, I would say. You might be able to make a case for kickers, but, basketball, the free throw line routines. We've definitely seen some interesting routines at the charity stripe as well. As Scott goes for the kill. A nice block by Corcoran, as well as Preston, I believe, was in there as well.
Preston now with 6 kills tonight, and she's played well. Her length and her versatility at the net, it obviously has really helped tonight, but it's going to help all year long for Adena, who looks to be, again, the class of the SVC.
Barry going to set it up to the right side. Scott goes for the kill. A nice dig by Townsend. Able to go out of play. A 24-18 lead now for the Warriors. Lexi Scott back to serve for Zane Trace. Going to need to go on a run here. Scott's serve is received by Corcoran. Townsend going to set it up. Burns going for the kill. And it's just a bit beyond the back line of Zane Trace. That was Corcoran going for the kill. Actually, it was Burns.
Yep, that's a game winner for you. I mean, Burns with her 11th kill to make that make the Warriors, I should say, 8-0. Zane Trace drops to 7-2. Warriors are 4-0. They take sole possession of the SVC lead, while Zane Trace drops to 3-1. And they'll be tied with Unyota, who I think they play next week or the week after. Zane Trace and Unyota, which will also be a very good game. Dewey, looking at the stat sheet here, I've got Lexi Scott from Zane Trace, 23 kills. That's a high tonight. Lainey Hill with 5. Alexis Farley following with 2. I've got 5 team aces for Zane Trace. Over on Adena's side, Sydney Fogelsong, obviously 19 kills. We know how big she was tonight for Adena. Hannah Burns ends with 11 and an ace. Brinley Preston, 6 kills, and Grace Townsend, 3 kills, as we talked about hers earlier, and 5 aces. So she played really well in a sophomore in a big game. She played well Tuesday, too. So yeah, I mean, it's what we thought it was going to be, a 4 or 5 set match. Maybe not a thriller. I don't know if I'd call it a thriller, but I definitely call it definitely a battle.
Matchup,
absolutely.
So they'll also put Zane Trace at 7-2. That'll hand them their first SVC loss now at 3-1. They'll look to get back in the win column actually Saturday morning, where they have 2 matches, one against Hillsboro and one against Western Brown. As for Adena, still a perfect 8-0 on the season, 4-0 in the SVC. They'll look to continue their win streak next Tuesday on September 13th at Westfall, so another league game for them. But as for tonight, the final, I guess we can go over each set. A 25-19 win for Adena in set 1, 25-22 in set 2. Zane Trace picks up a win in the third, 25-20, and then Adena closes it out 25-19 in set 4 for the win, 3-1. Like you said, it was a good match. Once again, the final here from Zane Trace. Adena 3, Zane Trace 1. Have a good rest of your night. Okay, so we had